There is a simple reality that is true for almost everyone. We all live somewhere, that place we call home. Here's a fact that goes along with that reality. Good, bad, or indifferent, homes are synonymous with home projects. Whether you think so or not, houses like us age, and sooner or later things need to be tended to. And just like aging bodies, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I grew up as a kid on a diversified farm that abounded with projects. We were always fixing something. Over the past 50 plus years of doing projects, I've learned a thing or two. On the farm, we rarely got to house projects. With 23 outbuildings, fences, and gates galore, not to mention the equipment, let's just say there was always something to do. My first house-related project was helping a brother do some sheetrocking on his house. We got it done, but it was not a pretty process. Reality lesson number one, there's an easy and a hard way to do everything. I got my framing badge in Colorado when the housing boom of the 70s was in full swing. This was long before cordless equipment, air tools, and lifts. It was be shown once, the next time you do it. End of story. It was brutal work with low pay. When I decided it was time to move on, I was offered my own crew to go to the mountains to build condos. After a self-induced torture session, during which I shingled a brother's duplex, 29 squares by myself with no previous shingling experience, well, I'll go back to lesson one. Next was a lumberyard stint. The lumberyard developed my organizational skills after hours and on weekends. More importantly, this experience allowed me to see firsthand how builders of all sorts operated. Trust me, there is a huge difference. Having collected a few tools while framing, I was able to begin doing projects for others as they came up. Landlords, I was finishing college at the time, as well as others. Each was a learning experience. I learned the hard way of many do's and don'ts if you are doing a side business. Another story of when I went to collect for some contract work I had taken on. Never again, at least from that guy, and I'll share that once in a lifetime story sometime. The next gig was for a contractor doing finish work, and this was before chop saws and power nailers. Finish work is totally different than framing. For one, close is good enough. For the other, 1/16 of an inch matters. And I'll have some more stories about that at another time as well. And then there was a cement project for another brother and his partner. Let's just say it included a day from hell. And it too will produce a story or two down the road. Learning the hard way does tend to have a lasting effect. It took me a while for lesson number one to sink in. From then to now, there has been a litany of projects of just about every kind, including a 25-year top-to-bottom, inside and out restoration of a 100-year-old farmhouse and buildings. There are many, many stories to go along with that phase, which will surface in my coaching sessions, my tips, and my weekly email posts. Some for your entertainment, but most to save you time, hassle, and money, and to help you make your projects more fun and rewarding. Here are 4 principles that you can take to the bank. Number 1, there's an easy and a hard way to do everything. Number 2, there's a right and a wrong way to do even simple projects, and doing something right the first time makes it way more rewarding. Number 3, it's important to do projects for others the way you would like to have them done for you. Number 4, a good resource is invaluable to help accomplish steps 1, 2, and 3. It's worth pointing out that when you're doing your own projects, you get to make the call as to when it's done good enough. If you're going to do it for others, you should know what doing it right looks like. The good news is that the reward of a project done right goes well beyond the person doing the work. Over the years and through the help of many great mentors and a great many goof-ups, I've learned to do just about everything connected to a typical home. I found out what works and what doesn't, far too often the hard way. You have a much easier option. I'm here to invite you on the latter leg of my journey, in which I and my team will attempt to put at your disposal an amazing host of home project folks that have shared their expertise to make your projects easier. I have also added some coaching timeout sessions to share some tips, reminders, and just add a little common sense to your upcoming projects. I have spent several years doing training work. I know when I see an effective training session, and this is precisely what we want to put at your fingertips. We've done the searching, the sifting, evaluating, so you don't have to. And by the way, if you come across or create a really good post, let us know. We will evaluate it and add it to the lineup if it passes our criteria. I'm not an expert in all specific areas. You don't have to be to get a project done right, but I can certainly distinguish quality craftsmanship from shoddy or very misinformed workmanship. Just so you understand, there are also serious diminishing returns that go along with being super picky as well. Good common sense is priceless when doing projects. I like the idea of making a positive difference. If our efforts have a positive impact on a project or two for you, we'd love to hear from you. Here's to rewarding projects in the days ahead. I encourage you to become a member. At $30 a year, it's one of the best investments you'll make, and it includes a 6-month money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Put all of our resources at your fingertips in less time than it takes to make a peanut butter sandwich. You'll be glad you did. For your information, we also believe in good causes, and as such, a portion of each membership goes to World Vision to help provide safe drinking wells to those less advantaged around the world.